Getting into the news review segment, where we get to have a conversation on some topical issues. We ask our right guests and we ask them relevant questions to bring varying perspectives to these issues. But we invite you to join us. Your comments, your thoughts, your contributions are welcome. You can do so via the WhatsApp number. It's on your screens. You can join our live stream on Facebook and on YouTube, ChannelOne TV. Of course, you can engage us on X. You can interact with us on Instagram. And you can enjoy some exclusive video content from ChannelOne TV on TikTok as well. This morning, let's welcome Ibrahim Ejay. He's a former Assistant Secretary at the Office of the former President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Ibrahim, good morning. Good to see you.
Very good morning to you, Nana Tufo.
Yeah, welcome. Thank
you very much.
Elvis Dako is also here. He's the editor of the News Center newspaper, as well as the web portal newscenter.com. Elvis, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, my brother.
Have you changed your colors or you've brightened?
I just brightened. So the first one looks a little heavy.
Yeah.
So that you see the top there look a bit heavy.
No,
I
this one.
I just decided to do a little. And I think
good.
so far everybody says they like the
when
new
I saw this one, I liked it.
Yeah, they like the new look.
Wonderful stuff. Okay, let's get into our business of the day. The new Patriotic Party, NPP, the largest opposition party, went to the polls last Saturday to elect a flag bearer for the 2028 general elections. And again, it is Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia winning with a decisive victory, 56%. Wow. It's clear the margins were obvious. Once the results started coming in, a pattern or a trend could be established, and it was obvious Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia was winning, and indeed he won. Now, our conversation this morning will of course look at the figures that came out vis-a-vis previous figures in 2023, the aspirants in there, and more importantly, rebuilding for 2028 general elections. So Elvis, I'll start with you. Were there any surprises for you in the NPP's primaries?
Oh, not at all. I think Thursday I was here with Samins on what the papers
are saying.
And both of us agree that I don't see how the NPP is going to change their flag bearer. I believe that Bawumia will win. But my concern was I wanted him to win by maybe 70% or more, not by the margin he won with, even with the last elections. I believe that would have sent a stronger signal. But I think what has worked, there's also a little difference, because in the previous election, because they were in government, they couldn't attack him well.
Yeah.
This time around, the onslaught and the attack he had to endure to be able to get this far. The percentage he got is still really good, because if you look at the propaganda and all the things said against him, all the problems of previous Akufo-Addo government blamed on him and all that, it's not easy to face four people, and all of them in one way or the other are heaping the loss of the party on you, and at the same time you are able to get such a margin. It's not been easy.
So the narrative blaming him alone for the 2024 defeat.
It played a huge role, because you see, all the four people who he was contesting with, all of them are, from one speech or the other, one action or that, are trying to paint the picture that because he's vice president and it's at a higher level, if the people are not satisfied with the Akufo-Addo government, they should blame him for it. And you know, the party had a lot of issues, and so people were angry, and you know, losing election by that margin, obviously the main message will be, okay, change everybody because we lost election by that margin. So when the contestants were also happy on it the more, it's supposed to deepen the anger in people, and for people to actually say, okay, then let's change him. But I think that his campaign team also did a good job by countering those narratives and also pushed back to ensure that people will know. And I think that the vote only is clear that the delegates decided that they can't blame the loss on him alone. They can't fault him alone, because it's not a one-man government. Government is a lot of people. And I think looking at all the things people have said about government and how they try to blame him, I think getting this percentage is reasonable, is respectable, because it's not been easy. If a party loses the election, one of the things that people do is to whip up people's anger to whip out people's anger against whoever was in government.
Exactly.
So that was my fear that it was going to work against. But clearly, if you look at the results, it really didn't work against him, because even if you look at the total votes he got, he only lost about 7,500 votes in the total vote he got from the previous one. He lost about 7,500 votes. The main issue is about Ken losing over 25,000 votes.
True.
And Brian, a first timer, rising so significantly, almost close to Ken, 18 point something, 23 point something. Ken was able to beat Brian by just about 10,000. And that to me, I think that was the narrative. But if you look at my paper, I done analysis about Brian's rise threatening Ken's, and I look at the similarities between Brian and Ken. I look at it that, look, they are all businessmen. They were touting their potential, that they are business. They all said they are rich. Okay, they were all former members of parliament. They all said they own a lot of businesses. They all touted similar things, and they all said they were rich. So the delegates were expecting the rich people to pay more. And I in my assessment, I believe that, I think Brian really paid. And was maybe he was able to beat Ken in terms of the pay. Because look at it, interestingly,
at the point, the potency of Ken's "I am rich" message was diffused by Brian.
Yes, that's what I see. Now, because if you listen to the delegates, anytime Brian goes around, they seem to be happy, because they will tell, oh, Brian has given us this, Brian has given us this, he has promised that on the voting they will give us this. And so I think Brian really invested money, and if you look at it, interestingly, they both won one region each. Ken won Central, and Brian won Volta. If you look at the 16 regions, they shared it 8-8 between Ken and Brian. Between Ken and Brian, if you look at the figures they got, Brian won 8 regions. If you look at just between Ken and Brian, Brian had more votes in 8 regions than Ken. So they actually divided the country. And interestingly, the 5 regions up north, Ken won only one.
Brian actually did better.
There. And then he came down south. He beat Ken at the eastern region, beat Ken in the Volta region, and another region. So you see that Brian's strategy, that if Ken say I'm rich, I also show him that I'm rich. I think really it was, so you realize that I am of the view that is really what decreased Ken's vote. Because if people decided they are going to vote for you because you can pay, and somebody comes and is paying more than you, obviously for those people, their vote is about who is paying bigger. So you look at a lot of things, and I say, okay, I'm not surprised that things turn out that, because clearly they look so similar. And if Ken is in the contest and Brian is able to make this number, it's a real threat to Ken's ambitions, because if there's any contest next time, Brian did similar investment, it's possible that Brian could overtake Ken. Brian could overtake Ken, because for first time to get this number is quite interesting. And I think that Brian has established that, look, if it's about money, if it's about wealth, if it's about own companies, if it's about I supported the party, I gave the party this and that, if it's about all those things, then he equally has a similar record to Ken.
Right.
You see, the Bawumia camp, they focus on their messages more than touting whether it's resources. He said it's not a rich person, but a poor person also deserves to be president. So for me, I think those who voted for Bawumia, they voted for him purely because they really wanted him. And I think that clearly, if you look at Bawumia winning 40 regions across Ghana, it's a message that out of 16 regions, he alone was able to win the 14 regions. And if you look at the Ashanti region, which is the stronghold of the NPP, he's won like about 80 or 85% of all the constituencies in the Ashanti region, and won the Ashanti region actually. So clearly, it's obvious that the party is in the mood that they want Bawumia to be the one to lead the party to whatever level they want to go to. And I think that it's important for them now to look at it. Now it's about strategy. And I was telling somebody that I think Ken misused his opportunity. Okay, when he was able the last election, the figures he got, and everybody said Ken is a powerhouse. If I were to be advising him, I'd have told him that I should contest Bawumia. But I've told him that make yourself the next in line after Bawumia. Just support Bawumia. If Bawumia is no longer there, everybody comes for you. But now that you have gone to this election and your figures has decreased, this is the same thing that happened to Alan Chamanti. And I was saying it here the last time. That when Alan contested Anado in 2007 and the votes were closer, he was going to go second, he stepped down. That was his biggest bargaining chip. If Alan had not contested Akufo-Addo again in any primaries, Alan would have been the alternative leader to Akufo-Addo. Nobody would have been able to do that. By the moment he went challenging Akufo-Addo in the following primaries, people say, okay, if you have come to challenge down in additional primaries and now you lost massively, then you are not the next to Akufo-Addo. That is what has given people the chance to also feel that then they can enter the race. And that ended up shifting Alan's importance.
So for you, Ken should have positioned himself as the next.
If I were the one advising him, I would have told him that, look, there's no need. This is a former vice who want to contest. Allow him, support him, but position yourself that everybody knows that you got 30-something% in the previous. So everybody knows that you are the next person that the party wants if Bawumia is not there. Right. So if you don't contest him and your votes are dropped to this level, because politically the psychological message that Ken's popularity in the party is waning. The vote you've got, because it's reduced, the message will be that your popularity in the party is even winning. And that
but is it also not important to contest for relevance?
No, you see, that's what the politics about strategy. So Brian, what he got now, those around him, if they advise him to go and contest similar primaries in the future, they should look at the events clearly. And Alan, if Alan had contested Nanado again after the 207, Alan would have been the one that would succeed Akufo-Addo, whether they like it or not. Because they had a vote and they had to go to second round. And he said, okay, let Nana go. Right. So if he has been able to step down for Nana to go, that means that he's the person. And party people will always know that internal primaries create a lot of problems for them. True. So if they know that you are strong and you could have contested, but instead you are waiting for this person's turn before you come, party people will be more interested in you. But when they say that you're always contesting and internal primaries bring a lot of confusion within the party, they are likely to rather say that you are part of the people who are bringing problems into the party. So for me, I think that politics is not always about contest. I always say that politics is more about negotiations. It's about backroom negotiations than rather contest. But we understand politics more rather from the point of contest. Rather than backroom negotiation.
Right. All right, thank you, Elvis. Let's say good morning to Elikem Kotoko, Deputy CEO, Ghana's Forestry Commission.
Thank you
for
having me. Good morning.
Let me go to Ibrahim before I come to you, since you would have been an observer and not a partaker in the election. Ibrahim being a partaker, your own observations of Saturday's polls, the margins, were they satisfactory? If you like the showing of Brian Echampong, what he garnered, and for Kenneth Japan dropping from some 33% in the previous election. Quick thoughts.
No, well, firstly, let me say good morning to you and my co-panelists and to all Ghanaians, and especially the NPP party for a job well done. I said some time back last week that Saturday was indeed a day of destiny for all of us, and indeed Ghana, because that future that we are all looking to in terms of developing Ghana, adding value, both within our personal ambitions and national aspirations, lie with the NPP delegates and the party base. And they delivered resoundingly. So I want to say thank you to everybody, regardless of who you voted for giving victory to Dr. Alhaji, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. It was a result that we wanted, and I believe that God indeed has delivered that result. The voice of God is the voice of the people. Am I right?
What was the target of the team? Is this 56% satisfactory?
At least, ideally, they say if you aim for the moon, you'll reach the sky. Yeah. So nobody targets below their ambition. I said here last week we wanted 70% and above. Aim high in life. Never settle for mediocrity. True. And that's what drives Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. His whole mantra about unleashing a mindset of possibilities. I'll come back on track. Is to imbibe in Ghanaians that attitude, that be and achieve whatever it is you want. So I'm relating that to your question. Our target was high. It has to be. Before you have confidence in the people, have confidence in yourself. Yeah. So it was high. We're looking above 70%. Because that's how you should target yourself. You need to punch high or aim high. The 70% we didn't get, but you look at the dynamics. You had last time, it was a binary vote. Either Dr. Bawumia or Kennedy Agyapong. I know Dr. Akoto Afriyie was also in the mix, but I'm just saying the main headline candidates were
Right.
Dr. Bawumia and Kennedy Ajapong. So it's binary, one or the other. And Elvis has given us some reasons as to why the votes came as it was. That being said, Dr. had 61% plus in 2023. Now, why the result? How did it come about? It's about message. Commentary has been made on this platform just now that money, who is the richest and what have you. Delegates, and I'm not saying this just for NPP delegates. Ghanaians, we are far more discerning than we can be bought like a prophet for hire. No. We are far more discerning. And I'm saying this across board. Not that somehow NPP have monopolized discernment or wisdom. It's not your money, it's your message.
Well, we saw delegates scrambling for
It happens.
some monies that
yes,
come.
but when they're in the booth, are you with them? If right now it's raining manna from the heaven, won't you pick it? You'll pick it. But the picking does not mean that you are obliged to vote a certain way. And this is something
But
that
then that's not right. Don't take my money at all if you won't vote
that's
for
the
me.
reality on the ground. You are giving it. Did you tell me to go and vote for you?
I'm giving it to you because I want you to vote for me.
Did you say that?
Clearly, that's the message.
That's the assumption. That's the assumption.
Why else would I be giving you money? as a
Why
delegate?
not? Why not?
Why should I?
When you give to charity, you want the charity to give something back
But this
to
is
you.
clearly not charity.
Oh, come on. I mean,
this is pure vote buying.
We can.
It's called
TNT and lunch.
You got it. And I mean, as I say, it cuts across.
Right.
You know? Let me be as, not pedantic, but I'm here. Alhamdulillah, you're giving me water and you're giving me coffee. Is it because of the coffee I'm here?
No.
But, so when you gave it to me, should I not take it?
Well, you should.
So you give me money for TNT, but we're going off track. Well, I want to come back on course.
Very well. Let's do that.
I'm just saying that Ghanaians are discerning. I think that's what led to your relevant query. We are discerning. When you give money, you are not in the booth. I'm talking the voting booth. With them. So it is, how can I call it? It is a cause 90, as some people say. Cause 90 means whatever it is, it's not 100%. If it's cause 90, it won't succeed. Giving money is, to an extent, a cause 90. Anything that is cause 100 is relevant and has currency.
Right.
You give money, and what happens? I can take you back to 2016, and these ones are documented. I want to come back on track, but very briefly.
Sure.
We were at Ghana, Accra Sports Stadium, John Mahama's rally, 2016. They were giving out bricks, 200 Ghana. Now, you see, I don't want anybody to challenge me on this. It's all across social media at the time. T-shirt wrapped with 200 Ghana. And what happened? One of the most dismal results for the NDC. Of course, we suffered the same fate in 2024. But I'm just saying that money doesn't buy you. What money was not NDC not sharing? Remember in that campaign, you had every single tree, lamppost, even a dog who was maybe urinating at a tree was wrapped in NDC colors. I traveled the country with Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. So we saw what was happening. NDC put money in, but the result was zero. They went to opposition. Money does not buy you. I'm not saying it has no relevance, but I wanted to make that point, like what Elvis mentioned, though you can see some merit in his submission. It wasn't about whether Brian had money, Ken had money, it's whether you had a message. And that's what Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia had. Clearly. He stayed on message, removed himself from the arena of insults, and said to the party delegates and the party-wide, this is the vision that I have for you. We want to make sure that we have a unified party, and I'm going to do my best to make sure that you are also stakeholders within the party and within the government structure.
Right.
You are somewhere in Gushegu, or me in Lejokuku, Elvis is somewhere in Volta region, likewise Elekem, as party members. You have built the constituency. In the absence of the party, you have made the constituency vibrant. You are leaders in your own right, because you're able to organize, administer, that's why you have a secretary, motivate. That's why you have a youth, you have research personnel, and you are the party. But when we build the house, suddenly you don't have a room. That has been the de rigueur for all parties. Suddenly the men and women who built who are the architects don't have a room. Dr. Bawumia said, no. Since you can build this fantastic edifice, organize, administer, we want those skills in the National Theatre. So I'm going to give every constituency 10 appointments. On merit. On merit. That tells voters where I'm wanted, where I'm valued. That's where I'm going to stake my support. And that message was resounding. While others were insulting, saying that you could never have a Muslim president, Doctor stayed on message. John Dramani Mahama in 2016,
right,
he got 44.4% of the vote. His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo got 53.6%.
Yeah.
John Mahama had 44.4%. In 2024, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia at 41.6%. We're numbers people.
Yeah.
When you round up 41.6, what do you get?
42.
42. When you round up 44.4, what John Mahama got in 2016, what do you get?
44.
44. So there's just 2% difference between John Mahama's record in 2016 and Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia's record or achievement in 2024. 2%. Did anybody in the NDC say this woeful showing, 44%, oh yeah, we don't need any northerners, let's remove them? Did you hear that?
They didn't use northerners.
I'm coming.
They shouldn't come back.
I'm not saying you don't have the right. But, and I thank you for that, Elvis. The reasons were not to do with tribal or religion.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And so we credit the NDC for expressing their opinions on their own facts.
Right. And not on religious or ethnic.
John Dramani Mahama's mother, I think it's Adiba or Aniba, she's a Muslim. When she died in October, we did a janazah and we buried her. She's a Muslim. The father, Emmanuel, is a Christian, Presbyterian. The name, John Dramani. Dramani means Abdurrahman. Mahama comes from what? You should know. Muhammad. And his brother, Ibrahim Mahama, is a Muslim. I've prayed with him before. Why am I coming onto this tangent? That those who are insulting Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia on the religion side, look how the NDC didn't go on that tangent. Because they have a president who comes from a Muslim family. The woman who gave birth to him is a Muslim.
Right.
And so these kinds of insults, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, thankfully, and as a statesman, ignored, stayed on message, because he recognized that they represent just a portion, a minuscule portion of people's opinions. These are the reasons why he won. He stayed on message and delivered. We have over 200,000 delegates. Ghana's population is this. Around 20% are Muslim, out of the 34 million. This is 2021 census. 20% are Muslim, 70% are Christian, and 10% different faiths. 200,000. 20% of that, let's say we're doing the same ratio, that 20% of the delegates are Muslim. That will give you 40,000 votes, 200,000. Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia got 116,000. That message, and for me, this is why I love NPP and I love Ghana. Because across board, you had Ghanaians, regardless of faith. But let me come to my brothers and sisters in Christianity. They stood up and said, we are not bigots. My hands are not the same. So definitely you get differences.
True.
But they make the hand. But our brothers and sisters in the NPP and outside even said, we are not bigots. We're not tribalistic. We're not regionalistic. We want this man based on merit. And clearly, given that 200,000, okay, 70% of that, you're looking at 150,000, 140,000. 140,000 of the 200,000 are Christians. So that sends a message to those who went off message and started looking at attacking on religious grounds. And I thank the NPP that we are a body that votes on merit. Let me take you back to 2007, December.
Briefly.
Primaries. It's important. I want to share this point. 17 people contested, we know, infamously.
Yeah.
One of those, and that time we had 2,300 delegates. We had 230 constituencies, each giving 10 delegates. 230 times 2,300.
Yeah.
In the northern regions, the three northern regions, the delegates in 2007 came to 44. Sorry, 440, because you had 44 constituencies.
So 10 each.
Upper East, Upper West, Northern region. Yeah? 44 constituencies, making 440 delegates. Aliyu Mahama, the former vice president, and this has been said even by his own son, Farouk. Assalamu alaikum to you, my brother. And Honorable Nituwul. They've said it. It's on social media. NPP, we look at merit, not where you're from. Aliyu Mahama, a son of the soul from Northern region, out of 2,300 delegates, he got 146 votes. Now let's go to his supposed stronghold, the three northern regions, which have 440 delegates. Nationwide, he got 146. That tells Ghanaians that the NPP is a merit-based party, meritocracy. And it's that agenda, that vision, that message, that in fact embodied Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia's campaign message.
Right.
Delegates resonated with what he wanted to do, making sure the party was strong, vibrant, relevant, unified, and then the national vision as well. And these are all the things that combined in making sure that he won overwhelmingly. Now, some will say the votes dropped. It's been mentioned, dropped by 7,000. Yes, because you had a third force, which is Dr. Brian Acheampong, a big ayako to him for the way in which he also conducted his campaign, speaking on unity, speaking on emboldening the party. And these things, again, resonate. You saw in the Volta region as well. But when having a third force, definitely votes will peel away. It's natural that votes will peel away. But while Doctor had 7,000 difference from 2023, Ken had 27,294 loss, a big drop. And that's the message to every politician. Stay on message and tell the delegates or the party who are your prospective employers what you can do. When you go for a job interview, 9 out of 4, they say, what can you bring to the table? How can you add value to our organization or company?
True.
The moment you start saying, don't employ the person in the queue because he smells, the other person's from this region, and the other person, I don't like the style of his mustache, or the way he's wearing his hat is not nice, then no, you've lost that job.
True.
Because your employer said, I want to hear what you can do for my organization, how you can add value to my organization. And you're telling me that you have so much money and that the other person should not be voted for, then no, you lost your campaign. And it's unfortunate, but alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, God knows how he does his things. You know, it told delegates, NPP delegates, and I believe the nation at large, that you want a leader that is focused on the agenda of doing what? Unleashing the potential of people, unleashing this mindset of possibilities, so that the opportunities that are ever present in Ghana, we, with the correct leadership and the requisite empowerment, can really achieve much for the nation. That was the message of Dr. Bawumia. That's what resonated, and that's what got him the vote. An overwhelming result, given that we had a third force in there. And a big ayako to everybody in the NPP. Your prayers, your contributions, regardless of who you voted for, has seen the vim return to the party, and we move to 2028.
Right. Thank you, Ibrahim. Let me come to Elikem for your quick thoughts, especially on Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. You know, in the previous primary, he was touted or tagged as an establishment candidate, that a government machinery had been whipped to support him, party machinery to support him. This time around, the party is in opposition, so there's no government machinery behind him. But he won a decisive victory. What are your thoughts around that?
Thank you very much, Nanatufo, and good morning to everybody. First and foremost, let me congratulate the NPP and all the candidates especially Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia, for securing that victory. And may I use this moment to also commend the police service for the consistency of demonstrating that if not polarized or compromised by state actors, they are capable of doing things and discharging their duties diligently and professionally. And that has been their call. And they are living up to that for at least a year and counting now. We can all tell the police are on top of their issues. The question has been, what is new? What is Alhaji Bawumia bringing on board? Whether he's a candidate of the establishment or not, it has not changed anything. I only feel so sad that the other candidates were not smart enough. This is not to insult them, but I felt they didn't prove to be intelligent enough.
Really?
This is my reason. If Bawumia was touted to be a product of the establishment, I do not think it is wrong. It is right, and it is what we all saw. Now, going into the next elections, they have already created a system to favor Bawumia. Really? The very people who are supposed to vote again were the same old people maintained. So it's the system that's the same system. And this, even though some way, somehow, it may look very nonsensical because it frowns on the true definitions of democracy, where you are going into a new elections and they have turned, but that is up to them. They have turned the process suddenly from top bottom. So do you know what it means? All the people who voted for Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia and co now may go to the next elections and all of them could be voted out. What does that tell you? This bunch of people who are not credible have decided for us who becomes our presidential candidate, and they are going to be voted out. And they're deliberately ignoring that. And if I am a smart candidate, the first thing I should be kicking against is not about the peace pact or anything, it's about kicking against that, because that has not been the tradition of the NPP.
Holding the presidential primary before the executive.
Then now before they will come to the others. So what it also means is that if care is not taken, they will do their national elections. So those at the bottom may elect leaders who, if after they are elected, the very people there or who will take over may not be in favor of them. And this is a ticking time bomb for the future for them. Because after you secure your victory and whatever, the new crop of leaders who will come from the very base may not necessarily like you. So the very people who voted for Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia today may not be the people he will be working smoothly with. Because in the end, when you have to now go to battle, there are going to be a crop of entirely new branch executives or polling station executives, what have you. But since it was designed in that way to favor somebody or someone, it now means that you will find a way, an authoritarian way, to use your invisible hands to whip other people in line to vote in a certain way. So to the other candidates, they fail themselves. There has been the concern also that, oh, his votes have appreciated, etc. I am glad that suddenly the NPP now realize that votes or elections are not easy matters. You recall when President candidate John Dramani Mahama even had 95% in 2020. What did they not say? Oh, he couldn't even secure 98. He couldn't even go to 99. Then in 2024, he secured 98.9. And that one, there was no more anything to say. Oh, it was just a two-horse race. Oh, no two election cycles are the same.
True.
And so, if you weigh these two, who do you think has more influence and is there authority or popularity within the party? Because like it or not, before you move into elections, you must first hold grip of your own party.
Yeah.
Do you know what this election means? There are still a number of people within the NPP who do not like the candidatures or the candidature of both Alhaji Bawumia and Kennedy Japan. So when three other alternatives were presented to them, they shifted to those people. And so if Alhaji Bawumia's vote percentage has dropped from 61%, which gave him 41 point whatever percent in 2024, and it has now dropped to 56. Then there should be something they should be telling themselves they are not doing right. Because that group of people who have still decided that we disagree with you. We do not like your kind of politics. We do not like you saying in public that we are all one people. Then you go and see the Muslim clerics and you tell them, I was voted for because I'm a Muslim. That is very divisive. And they know it. So you can't pretend about it. It is just, look, in the NPP, in the NDC, I must say, I would doubt if there's anybody within the NDC who is not happy they have elected Bawumia. Because we had not even finished playing his tapes in 2024. We had not even finished reminding him of the mess, the economy he led, and what transpired. That is why the question many are asking, so what is he coming to do? To resurrect the city, to say he has locked it, or to increase fuel price, or to say what? To talk about the economy again, or to continue the digitalization, which is an agenda of the globe. So it is not a surprising thing to those of us in the NDC. We are happy that he has won these elections.
He's not a threat.
He's not a threat. Look, I am not an NPP person. I am not one of them. I don't prefer to be one. I don't intend to be one, and I don't think I'll ever be one. But if I were one of them, the most credible candidate that they had was Kwabena Ejapon. But you hear the same candidates again say that, oh, Oniska, he's broke. Well, if you choose money over competence, then you are choosing defeat ahead of you.
Right.
That was one man who demonstrated he's a die-in-the-wool party patriot. He's very intelligent, very disciplined, and well-organized. In fact, his mannerisms alone convey a lot about maturity. I would choose somebody who shows that much maturity than one who is saying today that we need to pay pastors or reverend fathers. Then tomorrow he goes out to say, I was just joking. The reverend fathers are people you want to joke with. Will you joke with people in Islam? You get my point? These may be unspoken words, but these are the truth or the matters that Ghanaians decide on. And do you know what? I am happy again it is Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia because I don't see him changing his circle, changing his campaign team. And this is not the new, the NPP we used to know that was made of the big names you can talk of. The only thing I have seen which I believe that in 2032 is that Alhaji Bawumia is going to just be a stopgap measure for the NPP. Obviously because they cannot win the next elections, and then by the 2032, then a stronger candidate maybe in the like of Bernard Champon may emerge because he's also demonstrated. As for Kennedy Japan, there was no way anybody could have thought that he would ever be a presidential candidate of the NPP.
You think he's done?
He's done. He could never have been. His vituperations all over and the things he said and vulgar language, which he never imagined that a time was going to come that he could step in the shoe of wanting to be a presidential candidate. Foolish,
it's okay, it's okay, it's morning TV.
People need to be reminded. Let's not treat this with velvet gloves.
Right.
What were you teaching people? Then today, suddenly, you want to be seen as a gentleman who can be a statesman to lead? Never. It could never have happened. So he was just in the race to also make a statement. But it wouldn't wash. You see. So, if you ask me, I think Brian Achampon has conducted himself well. As for Edu Chum, I'm sure he was also just in the race. Kwabena Japan would have been the most fantastic of candidates for the NPP to have. That would have brought in both the old and the new.
He's been there about, what, 3 or 4 times already?
Yeah, he has. But you see, that suspension thing really dipped him.
Yeah.
And you see, when you are not consistent, the people even see. These are, again, unspoken words even by the NPP themselves. You criticize him, we saw you to be principled, this. Getting to the end, they were like, oh, he didn't have money, so he had to again align with Ananado in order for, and all of that. And that is why, you recall some time back, former President Kufuor said, he said some things that suggested that President Nanado did not consult him and a lot of things were not going right. But you are being hypocritical because prior to the elections, you mount a platform to say they are doing very well and let's encourage them. Then what do I look at you as? I see you as somebody who is not credible, who is not capable of things strict to the fact. And so I have not seen anything new happen. It is just what we expected because you have supposed intelligent people who are contesting an election and have allowed the system to be rigged prior to the elections. Where persons who are supposed to, imagine they were to hold the base elections, bottom up. you would have had enough influence on also having some of your people who are aligned to you to be elected to those positions. But the same people brought from 2024 have been carried forward to decide for new people. Pardon my French, it is nonsensical, it doesn't make sense, it is very illogical. But maybe it makes a lot of sense to the NPP, and they have, maybe Ibrahim will tell, maybe they have a justified reason.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a justified reason why they have done so. Because it's new, it's alien, and if anybody is supposed to have a proper assessment of what we have always crystallized as democracy, then
I may be wrong, but I think it's premised on the Okwe report. Yeah. Recommendations from the
so there's a report that has suggested to them, well, they've taken bits and pieces of it. That's okay. That's what I'm saying. For me, where I stand, it doesn't resonate.
They have done their study. So Ibrahim, quickly respond to that.
I'll quickly respond to that.
I'll go
very
back to
quickly, but it's important that he said something. You know me, I don't like to interject. I want the person to land. I'll come to the way in which we've now reorganized the election process. But quickly, Elika made a point about Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia joking with pastors. It was in Bono East, May 2024. Doctor, because again, he's an inclusive person, not exclusive, went to the churches, and there he made a remark that look at how wonderful churches contribute to government. This is May 2024. Churches, on their own, build hospitals, schools, universities. And he said that the development that churches are given to Ghana, government should rather be paying them because they are doing the job of government. And he said, so that's when he said that it was taken in light, not about a salary. Somebody who brings billions of cities, of development to the country. Don't you want to support that person? And so what Doctor then said was that we as NPP will make sure that we can see how we can partner more with churches in terms of tax exemption, collaboration, because church and state go together. Faith-based organizations and a government that is so aligned with the vision of the church. It's not something to be laughed at, something rather to be supported. And Dr. Bawumia is recognizing the value of churches, Christian-based churches, because this wasn't mosques, Christian-based organizations in developing Ghana. And he said, we shouldn't rather tax you. We should rather pay you for doing government's job. So I wanted to put that on there for those who are listening to Elikam's last remark. It was something that we should rather celebrate, a government that recognizes the value of Christians and Christian-based organizations in Ghana's development mix. Coming now to the elections, we recognize that what happens is this. You know, you go through so much, let's say, tension leading up to the presidential elections. So that by the time the presidential elections are there, factions are being created. Factions at the polling station level, okay, because you supported this person and not me. Factions are then at the constituency level. Because when I was going for constituency executive, you supported this person, not me. Goes to region. And then at the presidential, people look at a chronology. Nana Tufo voted for this man, this man, this man, and he's supporting this candidate for presidency. They won't even look at the presidential candidates. They just look at the trigger. You cause them. If not for you, Nana Tufo, my guy would have won the constituency elections, and therefore, I'm voting against your candidate. Meanwhile, your candidate, presidential, is the best candidate. He or she knows that as well. So now, what this does now, it gives us, right now, as we speak today, since we have our leader, Dr. Bawumia, as our flag bearer, God willing, inshallah, the next president of Ghana, you have 2 years and 11 months to organize and campaign. When the NDC did their presidential primaries early, they had over 2 years, and it served them well. And now, he's talking about they had a yes-no vote. The two, remember? Yes, no. A candidate wanted to stand. They said he was mentally ill. As for the word I want to use is when somebody is not discontent, but somebody who doesn't follow the track or the path. I think his name is it Godwin? I've forgotten. Those who are watching can Google. But he was, the NDC said...
a non-conformist?
Something, that's not the word, but anyway, I'll find it. One of the candidates to contest John Dramani Mahama as flag bearer for the NDC they said that even though he legitimately taken his papers, his nomination forms, they said he was mentally ill. To contest in a democracy, you're mentally ill, and they disqualified him. Not that
vetting.
Not it was disqualified from him applying. It's there as I'm talking. I'm sure our viewers will quickly Google and fact check what I'm talking. But I know for a fact, because we're here every day commentating on current affairs, so I'm grounded in what I'm saying. He was disqualified for mental reasons. Is that democracy? Let the people decide if he's mentally ill or not. So when you're having when you're having skewed proportions of like the Soviet era,
right?
You know, they'll tell you that Xi Jinping, 1000% votes. You can only get 100%, 1000%. Saddam Hussein, remember 99%. Yeah. We saw those, you know, Soviet era.
Recently in Tanzania.
Yeah, I'm telling you. They'll tell you that. What was the votes for a certain person? 102%, really? 102% out of 100? That alone should trigger. Yeah. So when the NDC did that thing, that's for their own cup of tea. Like, let me not go there. But now we have over 2 years and 11 months to really campaign. Now, when it comes to the polling station executives, do you know who votes for the executives?
Who does?
It's card-bearing members within the constituency. So it's not about those who were there, as Elikam is saying. Those who were there were voted. These polling station executives, the base of the party is the polling station executive. Your chairperson or chairman, woman, your secretary, organizer, youth, organizer, and woman organizer. Now we have research and welfare added to, and communication, added to it. It's the constituency who will vote for you. It's not like these old people. Elikam's submission was something like you had a bank of people who are now, you know, discredited, because there's the same people who are now voting for in 2023, who are now voting in 2026 elections. Yes, the album remains the same, but when they come to vote for the polling station executives later this year, I believe, per the calendar timeline, everybody wants to be a polling station executive, whom we in the parlance call delegates. They're polling station executives. Their job is to work in that polling station and be ambassadors, marketers, brand members of the party, and engage the community of their polling station. They will be up for election. And if you have you are a NPP member, card-bearing member in good standing, you can decide who represents you at the polling station. And that result will be known. But strategically, right now, we have 2 years, 11 months. You'll see it from next week. You know, the attacks which happen among ourselves will now cease, and we'll focus our attacks on the NDC, just as they did leading up to 2024. And we're seeing it in November. Fifi Kwete has also fired the first, you know,
we'll get there. We'll come to that.
We'll come to that. It's telling you, this third-term agenda won't work. And you'll start to see the cracks and the fissures inside the NDC. But we'll wait for that time. While they're busy doing that thing, we are busy campaigning. So the Okwei Report's recommendation is going to really inure to the benefit, not only of NPP, as we prepare strongly and formidably, but to Ghana at large.
Very well. Elvis, the MPP should know it's not the same as winning general elections. And so the actual work, the biggest hurdle now lies ahead. Forging together for 2028. With how acrimonious this particular exercise has been, how do you see the party mending all wounds, bridging gaps? Clearly, toes were stepped on. So coming together to fight for 2028.
Well, see, a party's strength is the grassroots.
Indeed.
But the people who contest and make all the noise, they don't control the grassroots. So Bawumia, as a leader, should find a strategy of getting to the grassroots. If he gets to the grassroots, it doesn't matter what noise anybody at the top makes. The people will decide. In this country, when NDC lost to 2016, right? What happened when Kochubojo report was done? It was became a national security secret. Now people have to be leaking page by page to the media. When it's public, they'll come out and say it's not true. Back and forth.
So my executive summary.
All kinds. So it's a normal process. This is a normal process. When this country, when top gurus of the NDC decide to go and form their own party, went a form, Gozi went a form. Everybody said, oh, NDC Egu. And if all these huge guys who everybody knows that potential replacement for Rawlings are all leaving because Rawlings has done the Stredo declaration to bring Atamels and all these big men have left the NDC to go and form the NDC, the party is finished, don't come again. All kinds of things were said. Today, NDC is in power. So you see, politicians should understand that the way they look at things, the ordinary voter doesn't look at things that way. The ordinary has his own reason for voting. And I always say that, Lucy, the way I look at talk is NDC members, so you talk politically. But the question is, the way you talk, you are assuming that the Ghanaian is thinking like you. But the Ghanaian it's not thinking like you. Ghanaian also has his own reason why he's going to vote. And that's why I always say that, see, an opposition party doesn't really need to even work hard to win an election. Because every vote is a referendum on the government of the day. Because everybody understands that the government of the day controls the national purse. Right. So if they have rules, that has to be fixed. If they need water, if they need school, they are not expecting it from the opposition. They are expecting it from government. Because it's government who must supply. Right. So if at the end of the day, they are disappointed that their expectation of the government is not met, they vote out that government. They don't care about the state of the opposition. Look at the NPP going to the 2016 election. Yeah. A lot of rancor to the point that from the chairman to general secretary, people they have elected, they have to suspend them. And the argument of the NPP is complete mess. If their chairman and general secretary won't be suspended, the party can never come to power. They won election rather in that year. So I always tell politicians, don't talk like you are the one who's going to hold somebody's hands to go and vote. Rather, focus on how your government can deliver. Because people go to the polls based on what they expect, their own expectation of government. Right. So you may think that, oh, the state of the opposition, based on what is happening there, people shouldn't vote for them. But the truth is that the person is not interested in opposition like the way he's interested in government. Because the person knows that whatever situation he or she is going through, the power to solve that problem lies with government and not opposition. So if you are in government and you are so fixated on the opposition, you will lose the election and you will not know it. Because you think that the ordinary person should be thinking like you, the politician who have an interest to protect for your government to be in power. Unfortunately, the voter doesn't care. His interest or her interest is that I need a road, I expect the government to fix it. I need a hospital, I want the government to bring some. I need water, I want that. So once you are saying that the person should vote, the person at the end of 4 years is looking at his or her expectations of the government, not expectation of the opposition to determine his or her vote. So I always say that it is governments that lose elections for opposition to come to power. It's not opposition that wins election. So opposition generally, you may say the opposition is in a mess, they are disjointed, everything. When the majority of the people decide that they are not satisfied with the government based on their own expectations, it doesn't matter what you tell them, they will vote against you. So the politicians should understand that they have their own expectation of the people. And the people also have their own expectations of the government. So why you expect the people that they shouldn't trust the opposition? The people also have their own reasons why they won't trust the government. And if they don't trust the government, the only alternative is the opposition. And the question is, who is the biggest opposition? They turn to the biggest opposition to say, let the biggest opposition come so that things will change. So voting is not about the strength of the opposition. It's rather about the strength of the government. If the government is able to satisfy the needs of those who will go to the polls largely, you maintain power. Very well. But when the people who are going to the polls decide that their individual expectations of the government have not been met, forget it. The young person who said, I'm unemployed and I've been promised 133 jobs. And if that person stays for 4 years, even if it's NDC card-bearing member, and he doesn't have a job in 4 years, he's not going to the polls. Right. He will not go and vote at all because he will not go and vote for the opposition. So then you have apathy. Because the person's expectation in 4 years is that, oh, my party promised that I'll have a job. And for the 4 years, I didn't see any job. So why do I go to the polls? Right. So I always say that the expectation of the people matters a lot, even especially within your own party. People who even felt that they believe in the message the party put out there and they went to vote. And now that expectation is not met. So politicians should always measure their expectation of the Ghanaians and say, oh, the opposition is this, the opposition is that, so they can't come to power. The voting patterns don't tell that.
Very well. Very well, thank you. Elikem, I'll come to you, but I need to take a quick break at this point, so please hold that thought for me. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel One Television. We're having the news review segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Hello again. Grateful for your time. Apologies for that long break, but thank you so much for keeping faith with us and staying on with us. I'll take a few of your messages and then we'll make progress on the show. This one says, good morning, Nana. I always say NPP are the pace setters when it comes to political matters in this country. Their presidential primary was solid. Congratulations to the party. Ahmed from Nima sent that one in. Alhaji Hamza from Pig Farm says, good morning, my brother. Truth be told, 56% win by Dr. Bawumia goes to show that he has a lot to do as compared to the 61% he got the last time. I've also been thinking, what is going to be his campaign message this time around? Nana, I can assure you that the 2028 elections is going to be a cool chop for the NDC. First and foremost, Dr. Bawumia and the NPP needs to cross the 1.7 million difference in 2024. A lot was said during the campaign against him, and we're going to use it seriously. And I hope the NDC will not be blamed because the bullets were provided by the NPP themselves. Okay. Master Planner Junior, a policy analyst in Kintampo, says, congratulations to Dr. Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia, the next president of Ghana in 2029, inshallah. Thanks to all NPP delegates. Let's keep the energy till 2028. General elections is over. Ibrahim Ajay, if Bawumia could get only 56.4% in the local elections, brace yourself for 18.2 in 2028. As for Jubilee House, Timothy Bawumia will not even come close to Afrikiko restaurant. Edina Chimota sent that one in. Good morning, Anna. Please help me tell Elikem of the NDC that we are patiently waiting for the NDC's 10. Emma from Keta sends that one. Eben from Tema says, hi, Channel One TV. Please tell Elikem to chop his house matter. It's evident that the NDC's greatest threat for 2028 is DMB. And Elikem's posture this morning tells of one who is frustrated because he's heard that his opponents have nominated his most feared enemy for the boxing contest. No wonder the NDC was pushing for Mahama's third term. The NDC was not pushing for Mahama's third term because they knew a new flag bearer would struggle against DMB. Now let the NDC present their candidate for 2028 and let's watch the show. Eben from Tema sent that one. Thank you. You can also send your thoughts, your comments and contributions to the show. But let's move to the corridors of the National Democratic Congress, the NDC. Guidelines have been announced by the General Secretary, Fifi Avikwete, regarding the next step of elections internally in the party, national executives, constituency, ward, and what have you. But one striking guideline in there is that government appointees have been barred from contesting executive positions. Elikem, where do you stand on this?
Thank you so much. A quick one before then. People need to know that if the matter of the NPP primaries, presidential primaries, were not being discussed and I raised it, then you could say I'm frustrated.
Very well.
I would never have uttered a word on it. And why would somebody say that Bawumia is our most feared person? Somebody we've defeated once already. Why should we fear defeating him when again we have the plethora of videos and tapes to play to him? We are rather happy that he is the one they have chosen. But in any way, no two elections are the same, and I have always said so. And lastly, my submission as though, as though you know what the people would vote for. That falls flat before logic. Why do we conduct polls? What is the purpose of research? It is to be able to go beyond the personality you see, to tell, to quiz and vet, and then be able to determine. Why is Musa Dankwa able to predict that this will be the outcome? So it is not only about thinking.
Assumptions.
Look, assumptions that maybe because somebody's political campaign message, somebody may like MPP purely because of how Ibrahim speaks. Whether he is employed or unemployed. Somebody will like Ibrahim and vote for the NPP purely because of the way he dresses. So there are a lot of factors that constitute that. It can never be just because of the expectations and delivery. Somebody will also tell you, look, Nana, the way you always respect people in your neighborhood, I believe that. So that based on that, when it's time for election, some will come to you, Nana, who they wouldn't say, boo, we respect you. So in which direction do you want us to go? It doesn't matter who. So if it is only about expectation, what of those who are already self-esteemed? Then they don't need to vote. You get my point? So that is just a side. Well, the NDC has never been different from itself right from inception. And permit me to say that appointees have not been bad. Guidelines have only been given to state that if you are an appointee and would want to contest, these are the guidelines. And so the guideline is only saying that 6 months to your elections, you should actually put in a resignation so that you focus in order to be able to do your campaign and do whatever would need to see you through to that process.
Right.
And it's just as simple as that. Many have misconstrued and actually interpreted it to mean that to mean other things. So long as I have not heard any of such on this platform, I don't want to say. So it is not about that. It is just that, well, if you want to contest for this, and let us not make it look as if it was the General Secretary's decision. It was never the General Secretary's decision. That was the decision of NEC. That was the National Executive Committee that met to decide so. And this comprised of all national officers, selected regional representatives, forefront leadership, and others. And so that was just a decision. And it is just in line with what has been the case of the party in preparation for the next elections. So that is just what has been done. It is right for people to want to skew it in certain directions to make it look, you can't run away from the fact that currently as we speak, if you take any 2 or 3 or all the political parties in this country, the most effective, efficient, mature, and respected General Secretary of any political party is Fifi Avikwete. The most respected, the most dignifying, mature national chairman of the NDs of any political party is Johnson Asiedu Nketia. Give me, and I have said this on many platforms, weigh any other political party executives against any NDC executive and tell me which one surpasses, who surpasses which one. This is not in a way to do a pound for pound analysis and all that, but I'm just saying a matter of fact. If you take the leadership of the NDC, compared to any other leadership, they have all been failed ones, or if not failed, they are non-comparable to the NDC leadership. And so it is not as though the NDC, that is why I said that even as a decision taken by the NPP may not make logic to me, maybe it does to them. Like they said, Ibrahim said that if they elected the president first, it reduces the factions and all of that. But the reverse is still the same. But regardless, so long as it works well for the NPP, that is why their symbol is an elephant. Our symbol is an umbrella. So there will always be those differences over what my perception may be over that and what my opinion is on the other side. So the NDC has not bad. It is only in the process that we also have to go through in order to ensure that we let the next new crop of leaders. Don't forget, there was some time ago where people even adduced that, oh, you don't always have to change people and all of that. No 2 sets of elections are the same.
Right.
No 2 sets of elections are today. Maybe in the next elections, I may not need to play the role I played in securing victory for the party. I may have to play a different role or no role at all. And so that is one thing we all need to understand. And also, in a party that believes in, that is a Congress, in believing in grooming and growing others, there's the need to always create that leveling field to promote opportunities. There are others who have also suggested in this that, oh, you people, don't you think that maybe it should have rather been the members of parliament that you would give that condition for, that maybe a year to their elections, they should have resigned if they're holding any positions, because the crux of the matter is at the base and they are the ones going to contest. So there are many proponents of various ideologies, but this was what was agreed on, and this is just what is being carried forward. You see, the truth is that you have a party that is very well managed and run, as well as a government that is very effectively and efficiently run, that you can hardly find a scandal. And therefore, even if you cough, they want to know whether it was self-induced or it was cold or it was something. There's absolutely nothing to speak about against the NDC. Right. 1 year and on, there's not a single scandal. So you see, and let me even tell you, a typical one, for instance, let me tell you. I woke up today to social media news that President Mahama has rented a private jet worth $50,000 an hour, when it is stated very clearly that this was given to, this was specially brought in from where he was going, from the government there, to move him there. But people have decided, so suddenly they now see the value in the cost of renting helicopter and airplanes, that private jets that we're talking about. So a lot doesn't, but Let them continue.
Well,
We in the NDC are not moved at all. We believe we are focused just as they also are. And that is, like Elvis said, it is government that will lose elections for oppositions to come. And that is why we are so focused. It is only that we will no longer allow an opposition that will be reckless or irresponsible to throw mud out there that will be falsehood. You recall 2016, what was said? President Mahama has bought a house in Dubai. Lodina has this and that. In the end, what happened? It was only just aimed at finding a way to appeal sensationally to the voter. That's what I'm telling you. The voters' basis for elections or voting are a lot of things. Some are very weird. Some are also not related to your message, to your campaign, and all of that. And that has been it. So the NDC is so focused and managing the party very well in tandem with the government.
Thank you, Elkem. Elvis, quick thoughts on the NDC's guidelines for their internal elections.
I mean, I support it 100%. I'm always of the view that, look, the party has thousands of people capable of serving. So if the party wins an election and you are fortunate to have an appointment, the day you are appointed, that's the day you must resign. I don't see why people are even in government working and still holding party office. I think every party should have it as part of their their constitution that if you hold party office and the party come to office and you are lucky to get appointed, the very day you are receiving appointment letter, you are resigned. Because all of them have deputies who can be holding the fort once the party prepares for an election. So I support and I encourage NPP, every party to adopt that. Because see, you cannot be in government, want to do party work. You will not be focused. Go and focus on government business. Let those who want to do party work do their party work. I think that is the best way.
But our ministers are MPs. Our ministers are MPs.
No, you see, that is the issue. Because of we are practicing, I always say, a confused constitution.
An envoy has come back home to come and
if our President Mahama would have sacked him immediately.
Oh
yes. If our President Mahama sack him straightforward. No, you don't like the ambassadorial job. So somebody else should go and take it. Go and contest. If you win, go to parliament. If you don't win, stay home. Because the president has been magnanimous to give you an appointment. And then you are now telling the president that the message is that, it means that he's not satisfied with what the president has given him. Do you understand? That's the message I get from it. That appointment you gave me as an ambassador, I didn't like it, but I took it like that. Now I found a better opportunity. So for me, for our President Mahama, fire you, go and do your politics. If you win, come to power. If you don't win, everybody will give you appointment and now you decide to go and contest. I think it will bring some sanity into the system. I saw a lot of even appointees attacking Fifi Kweta. This thing was done to John Bodu, so many, and the NPP. When the party take a decision, once you are the general secretary, you come to communicate it.
I'm not sure there was any appointee.
And a lot of people on social media.
Then I'll put you on the spot to mention this.
I'll give you evidence.
There was no such. There was
a lot of why were they attacking the man? The man is just a messenger. A decision has been taken. He issued a statement. This is the decision the party has taken. So why are people attacking him as a person? He's not the one. He didn't take the decision solely. So what is this or that? It's not anything. See, they felt that it is the presidential primaries issue. You see, all these things will lead to the presidential primaries. So people are looking at who belongs to what camp. So you see, it is simmering under small. So that attack on him, obviously, those who felt like, oh, this man, he belongs to a different camp, and they want to do things that may benefit that camp. So let's attack him. But I think that in politics, people should be a little bit more honest. If Kweta had gone to grant an interview somewhere without the party taking that, and he makes that suggestion, even that you are not supposed to attack him, because it's his view that. I'm saying that if it's not even the party decision, and he has gone to grant an interview to me, and so to me, I wish that we do this. It will help the party. You don't need to attack him. It is how he sees things. So if it's a party decision and he communicates, why attack him? But as I said, it is the undercurrent of the pending presidential primaries that will come, and those who feel that, oh, this guy Fifi might be belonging to camp A, and therefore for that reason these things are being done to favor that camp. That is why he is communicating. So they will not even look at the fact that it's coming from the party. They are looking at probably per their mindset, per their suspicion, per their own opinion. They have a certain perception about Fifi, and they think that announcement is to benefit Fifi or benefit his camp, and for that reason they have to attack him. But I think the politicians should minimize this kind of attacks. See, because if you're attacking your own and your opponent comes attacking the president, what do you do? Because this is your own, and it's just communicating a party the official decision.
Yeah.
And then he has come under all kinds of attack. So if the opponent comes after the person, will you, the same person who attacked the person, also go after the opponent? To work. So the political parties should know that, look, the democracy is growing. And as I said, the Gen Zs who are growing up, they have a different mentality.
True.
So the way we are doing things, we should also look at the times and realize that times are changing. If you think in the past it's a good way of doing things,
the voter population.
if you think 8 years ago, 10 years ago, this kind of tactics will work, know that we are no longer in that era. Things have changed.
Yeah.
So there's no need for them to attack him. It's a party. If you don't agree,
Very well.
I think there are processes. If a party take a decision and as a party member you don't agree, there are processes you can go through.
Yeah.
So petition the appropriate bodies and say, you think this decision taken by the party, you disagree, and that you think that maybe whatever available channel of redress that you want to go through it to hold that issue. So I think that it's something that people must accept, whether we like it or not.
Right.
So for me, I don't see the essence of attacking Fifi over this issue.
Well, thank you, Elvis. Ibrahim, your thoughts on the NDC's pending elections and the guidelines as announced by the General Secretary?
I think the guidelines that Fifi Kwete has outlined should be accepted. I think it's even in line with John Mahama, the President Mahama's, vision of a leaner government, more disciplined party.
Right.
Anybody who is against it, okay, now while nobody's openly attacked Fifi Kwete on the resignation issue, Aduji Tamaklo, NPA CEO, has attacked Fifi on a sycophancy claim. That one is on record. Tamaklo, NPA, he's a government appointee.
Yeah.
And he's come against Fifi by labeling some members as sycophants. Now, what is the whole resignation decided to do? If you want to work for Ghana, Ghana's employment should supersede or surmount any other political vocation. That should be our mindset, that my capacity to serve the nation must supersede my capacity to serve my party.
Right.
Because what will happen is this: you're in government, you need to be 100% focused on working for Ghana, not your party. If you want to work for your party, then don't enter government. I think it's clear. Because then now you have the advantage of incumbency. Imagine you're a CEO, government appointee, and you have access to resources. I mean, this is where Fifi is coming from, because he knows his party very well.
Yeah.
He knows his party very well. Access to resources. And then suddenly you take those resources and campaign for a party position. They're trying to decouple the two.
Right.
So anybody against it. Now, I heard that Suhini was a NDC communications team member. I don't know if he's been given an appointment, but
No.
yes,
No.
good.
It's a private.
It's a private, yes. He is saying that these utterances should not be made in public because I'm quoting him here, because it has a tendency to create division. Something that inures to the country's benefit. And what has Fifi said that is so blatantly wrong or negative? He said, if you want to focus on the party 100%, then use all your resources to do that. Resign. It's like you have I want to give this analogy just to drive home the point. Somebody is a heart surgeon or a brain surgeon, and he has a part-time job selling bull fruits while he's busy working on your brain or your heart. And he's thinking about, actually, is my supply of flour and eggs in? Would you, as the patient, wouldn't you want him to say, I beg you, Massa, either be a full-time neurosurgeon or heart surgeon, or go and sell your bull fruit and let the person operating on my life devote 100% to me? Given that analogy that I've just given, I don't think anybody in their right mind, politically speaking, would be against what Fifi has just said. He didn't say leave the party. He said resign your post and concentrate on either one or the other. And within that, the underbelly of that comment is that, as I mentioned, state incumbency. Because you, as a CEO or government appointee, you have resources.
Access to.
You have access to resources. And it's a way of checking that temptation, because party positions or vying for position demands currency. I'm talking money. And suddenly you may find that you are dipping into government coffers or arranging deals that will inure to your benefit, And again, I go to Victoria Hammer, NDC. She said, it's on tape, it's not doctored. It was not doctored or nursed back to health. She said, if you're in politics, this is an NDC person talking, and you don't make $1 million, you're a fool. That's the mindset of some people in the NDC.
Wishful thinking.
Of course, wishful thinking. That is somebody, I mean, the NDC, I don't know today whether they've actually disciplined her or ostracized her, but that kind of thinking should not allow to be, that kind of seed thinking should not be allowed to germinate in any political party. Because you know the mindset of that person, how to make money, not how to develop the country. I'm leaving her aside, but you know, that, what Fifi has said should be rather embraced, celebrated, and communicated at the public era, rather than Honorable Hamza Soini telling us, no, Charlie, keep that one under wraps. What has he said that is so offensive, that is so controversial? But of course, we know where his allegiances lie. His allegiances lie with who? Asedu Nketia. He's vying to become president. They are actively against a third-term agenda that some people in NDC are out for. John Dramani Mahama himself has said on video that this is his swan song. Your swan song is your last show.
Right.
So the occupier of the seat said, Charlie, this is my swan song. It's my last one.
Yeah.
I'm not going for third term. But those people, sycophants, brown noses, they are Didija fraternity. They want to prop you up for their own agenda, not the president's, President Mahama's agenda. And Fifi Kwete is sending, you know, a political warning.
Right.
Because again, an election requires resources. You're in the appointee forum where you have access to resources. You then become a political party appointee.
Just a quick one. To be fair to Suini, he was not commenting on the isolated comment regarding the party guidelines. He actually referenced other utterances of the General Secretary.
Yes.
So he's just urging, if like, some circumspection with how the General Secretary communicates some
I'll
of these
take that
things.
on board. I won't go into it. I won't argue the point. But let me continue with what I'm saying. But well noted. The important thing is that looking towards the NDC's presidential primaries, already positions or people are, you know, marking their territory. And where they see that there could be advantage, financial advantage, because that political office will create a pathway for victory for whoever becomes the presidential candidate for the NDC. And now he wants to make sure that those who have that different agenda, not maybe, I'm talking about third-term agenda, but maybe they're having support for other candidates, Ato Forson, Julius Debra, Her Excellency the Vice President, Nana Pokuajeman, Haruna Idrisu. He may be saying that we don't want you to use government resources.
None of these persons have declared any intent whatsoever to contest.
Good, but the supporters have.
Right.
Yes, and we won't say that the power is at the grassroots. So the grassroots have supported. Yes, thank you. How did you show it? The grassroots have shown it.
Right.
You know, okay. What happened when Asedu Nkete went to do a thank you tour? All hell broke loose. How dare you? I mean, thank you for helping us win 2024. That should be a reason, because they say no.
Is that the work of the chairman?
Why
or
not?
The president?
He's the head of the party. He's the chairman. The party
was it
brought
was
the
it
government
sanctioned
to
by the
power.
party?
The government or the president can thank the party. The party is obliged to thank the people.
The party must take the decision, not the individual.
Thank you.
So if the party did not approve it, they have
But
no
the
right
chairman
to-
took the decision.
No, the chairman doesn't have that
I'm with you
power.
on that, Elvis. Now, don't get me wrong.
He's actually still on it. I think he was in the Western region over the weekend.
But look at what they like setting the cat amongst the pigeons. In full honesty, he's taking a cue, whether he had the party's permission or not. He's the chairman, to thank the delegates. Just now, what did I do when we first entered? The first thing I did is thank Party 4 and party delegates. That's the first thing I did on this program. Ibrahim Ajay, where is the authority to thank the party people? How dare you? You have to get permission from Stephen and Tim first. No. So let's allow the freedom of speech to prevail in this country. But it sent a signal.
But you would agree that the party has systems and structures in place.
I understand. I'm not.
We should be followed.
I'm not trying to incole any biami. I'm not trying to somehow,
pick and choose.
Pick and choose. But I'm just saying that the way they communicated tells you something. Oh, Honorable Chairman, I'm talking Serin Ketia. It is better that the party moves with you on this agenda. We thank you for your initiative, but in other circumstances, let the party be part of that movement. I mean, that will send a signal to everybody that, okay, they are one. But clearly, NDC are not one, because they're saying that somebody with an agenda, and Serin Ketia has come out clearly to say that the Constitution should not be corrupted with any talk of a third-term agenda. He said it, and those who are, and again, I'm reminding NDC, the person that some of you are saying should go for a third-term agenda doesn't want it. And we've seen in other jurisdictions, you remember when Obasanjo, we had noises of third-term agenda, and Atiku Abubakar suddenly went against that thing, third-term agenda. When you do that, we are quick in Africa to condemn. But suddenly, just a portion, and again, I'm not saying NDC are that way, but all it needs is a matchstick to start a bushfire. So, Fifi's statements is sending warning shots that let's make sure that we protect the purse of the country, because naturally somebody who is a CEO or a government appointee wanting party position needs resources. And those resources, instead of looking for people to donate outside of government, will be tempted to look into government coffers, maybe give a contract, which to all intents and purposes is to his or her cronies. Chale is a contract. When you come back, come and give me my 10% or 50%. We don't know what it is. We had so much scandal with the NDC leading up to 2016, bus branding, and all.
They've learned their lessons.
Yeah.
So
well, we pray so. What Jida?
One year, 1 month on. You don't have anything. You people are fishing.
Oh, we pray so. But you see, what will happen is this. The NDC has a track record for corruption. They do.
You're sure?
We voted them out in 2016. Why did we vote out John Dramani Mahama in 2016? Think about it. Not to somehow take me off subject, but NDC should clearly answer this question. Sometimes they eulogize him and put him on a pedestal. Over 1 million plus votes was the difference. Why did they vote out John Dramani Mahama? NDC.
Very well.
Because of the corruption that they themselves saw within their folds. And if I take you to 2024 elections, briefly, look at the number of votes that NDC had in 2020 at the parliamentary level. Add it all together, just the NDC. And then look at what they got in 2024. They reduced. They won the elections, though. Hands down. NDC won the elections.
Yeah.
But just look at how they won. In 2024, their votes dropped by 164,000. Just add up the parliamentary seats, votes, in 2020, then add up the NDC only, and then add it up in 2024. It reduced by 164,000. Why is that? And meanwhile, we've added 2 million people onto the electoral roll. I'm linking it. It's telling you that there is no trust within the NDC, but our apathy, I'm talking 2024, anger within NPP was a factor in why so many people stayed away. So Fifi Kwete is sounding a warning. Don't allow sycophants, that's his words, not mine, and people who may be tempted to corruptly take government money to run for party positions be allowed to do so. Resign your post in 6 months.
Thank you.
Let me just say 3 things. First,
30 seconds.
Fortunately, I happen to be a member of FEC. I'm a deputy national organizer. So in case you care to know, Chairman made it clear at our FEC meeting, fortunately I was present there, that he was
That's a functional executive committee meeting.
That he promised Ghanaians when on campaign that when you vote for us, I will come back here again and I'll come and thank you.
Very well.
And therefore, I'm going on a thank you tour. Any other national executive who is ready and able to join me can join.
Very well.
Perfect. And that was
Next
it.
one.
Perfect. Number 2, President Mahama himself has even stated it clearly that he's not interested in a third term.
Right.
But you see, like I told
That's established.
you want to find reason to find something with the NDC, which is not there.
Elegant, we have to go.
And so, then lastly,
last one.
Anybody who genuinely knows Fifi Kwete knows how his demeanor and how he speaks. Since when he was propaganda secretary, etc., he speaks with a certain certainty and firmness. That has always been it. Then lastly, you said that the NDC was booted out because of corruption. So what was the purpose for which the NPP was booted out massively in 2020?
Gentlemen, thank you so much. Thank you also for sending in your comments and your messages. This has been the news review segment on Breakfast Daily. We'll see you again. Don't go away. The show continues.